Welcome to Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero. We had our Christmas party last night, so I'm a little hungover. No, I'm not. I'm fine, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and last night was our Christmas party. We'll talk about that later. A couple people from the sportsbook won prizes last night in a game, but I'm not going to tell you till later. We'll save that for later. On the show today, coming up on the video, is our man from Rampart Sportsbook, Duane Colucci. Colucci. I love our little running jokes here. Today is December 20th, 2023. It is show 51, ladies and gentlemen, and therefore I'm wearing a shirt that Ryan brought in for me. This is the 51s, was the minor league baseball team. But they no longer exist. They're now the Aviators, correct?
Yes. They are the affiliate of the Oakland Athletics now.
Oh, yeah, and who were they with the 51s? They were
the Dodgers, they were the Mets, and they were the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, Dodgers for a long time.
And the Padres.
And the Padres, wow.
Yeah.
And, so you also have a 51 jersey on.
Yeah.
And yours is very, like, Christmassy.
Yeah. On the back, there's like
we're seeing the back, ladies and gentlemen.
With picking up cows.
Picking up cows?
It's a UFO picking up
That's
cows.
what the aliens do. They love beef. I think everyone knows that about aliens. They don't like chicken. They like cows. Are we even allowed to talk about Area 51? I mean, isn't that like, can we get
I don't see why not.
taken off the air or something, or like something would happen to us if we talk? So Area 51 is not that far from here, right? It's the very suspicious government property. Everyone believes there's UFOs and aliens there. The CIA publicly acknowledged the base's existence on June 25th, my sister's birthday, 2013, following a Freedom of Information Act requested. So anyway, remember there was one guy, remember a couple years ago, some guy wanted to storm Area 51?
Yep, they got a whole group on Facebook going together, yeah.
Right, and then the government was like, yeah, you really don't want to do that.
Well, they can't stop all of us, right?
So strength in numbers, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
We should have been a part of it, man. Could have just as they pick us off one by one. It's only 83 miles from here. Area 51.
Did you say June 25th?
June 25th, yeah.
That's your sister's birthday?
Yeah.
That's my dad's birthday.
Oh, well, there you go. So they're, that we have that in common.
Yeah.
When's Ashley's birthday? Your mother?
She just passed, December 16th.
Oh, that's right. We showed that happy birthday.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Okay. Or no, wait, no, that was her birthday, the video.
Yes.
And you were like a little kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Last Friday.
So maybe I am a little hungover, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not. Area 51 there. We can't go. I don't even know if we were allowed to show that. Ryan, do you believe in aliens?
Well, I mean, with everything that we've been told about how extensive the universe is, I don't see how we can be the only life.
How can we be alone?
Yeah.
Jerry,
It's
aliens, yes or no?
alone.
He's saying yes. Anne? She's saying thumbs up. Thumbs up, John.
Got the camera back there.
Now we have the camera. Wait, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new camera angle right there. This is, you can now see Sean and Ann and Jerry and Ryan in all their glory waving to the camera. There. Get back to me, please. Thank you. All right. I was off camera for way too long. Aaron Rodgers, I saw breaking news just now, has been activated by the New York Jets, but will not play. So why the hell is that a news story?
Yeah, if Wilson goes down, is he going to come in?
I don't know. He's
active. Is that what that means?
But he's not going to. Is he going to dress in a uniform and stand there on the sideline in a uniform?
Well, if he's active, wouldn't that mean that he is? Like if he's going to be part of the 53, he has to dress.
Yeah, right.
So you would think so.
Or would he be like the third? Because now you can have that emergency quarterback and all that.
Right. But they still have to dress, don't they?
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, they can't be like, oh, okay, hold on, we got to put a uniform on.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of UFOs and Aaron Rodgers, this is what's called a perfect segue in the biz. Aaron Rodgers believes that he's seen a UFO, and he told the story on Hard Knocks, and I think we have a little clip of this.
I walked outside, and up in the clouds, we heard this sound, and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky, and it was like a scene out of Independence Day. When
you think he was on ayahuasca at this point?
I can't believe you said. I was going to say the same thing. I mean, this is a gentleman.
Kind of explosion type fire in the sky.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah, he could have been doing one of his ayahuasca trips. I think he does mushrooms. I don't know what he does. Didn't he lock himself in a hut for a couple days in the darkness?
Yeah.
Do you know how long I'd last locked in a cave like that in darkness?
Talking to yourself?
In all honesty, I would probably go crazy. I probably would. I couldn't do it. I couldn't take it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our own inside jokes here, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 51. That's why I'm wearing this 51 jersey, which, by the way, is the most comfortable jersey I've ever worn. It's very lightweight. Area 51, but let's talk about jerseys. Let's talk about number 51s. And yesterday we had Mike Singletary, probably one of the greatest linebackers of I mean, I remember watching this guy just dominate. But today, top of the list, who do you got, Ryan?
The monster of the Midway, Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus. And this guy, unfortunately, always played on bad teams. I don't even think he ever even made the playoffs. But he was ferocious, man. Dick Butkus just passed away. Passed away this year. But yeah, he was awesome. And then he segued into acting. So he did a lot of shows. He was on a lot of commercials, a lot of Miller Lite commercials when I was a kid. And he was just a monster, man, and played dirty, but within the guideline. Look at his hands. Look at Dick Butkus, number 51, retired, of course. But look at the helmet, barely fits his head. That doesn't look safe. There's no way that didn't prevent.
No.
And that was Bradshaw getting hit, I think. Yeah, I mean, he was just a beast. Yeah, now these would all be flags nowadays. These would all be
100%.
penalties. Look at that. You can't throw him on
ripping, your body to the side.
You can't. I mean, look at that. He twisted the guy's head. He was trying to pop his head off.
Absolute menace.
And again, this is when the Steelers were really bad. But oh my God. And there's the Eagles. Get out of my way. And I love that back then NFL films had they knew, follow that guy. Keep a camera 51. Dude, that guy, he would play in today's game. Could you imagine him in today's game? He would fit right in.
Absolute monster.
But he'd be fined about $40,000 a week.
Oh, for sure. At least.
This is a great package that you found, man. Look at him. And again, I just mentioned, I never played on good teams, never had a taste. Oh, my God. All right, that's a lot of Dick Butkus right there. You got probably another hour of that footage. Other jersey, famous athletes, are we doing age 51, right?
We've got age 51 and we've got players wearing 51.
What do you want to do first? Put whatever one you want to put up first.
We can do age first.
All right, let's go age. Former athletes that are 51 currently. The Rock is 51?
Yep.
I don't know. Did I know? I would have thought, I guess that's about right. Yeah, 51. I mean, we look similar we're similar age, so. Jerome Bettis, who played for a football team.
We're past it. You can.
Okay, I can say Pittsburgh
today.
Marvin Harrison Sr. Now his son could be a Chicago Bear.
Hopefully a Chicago Bear.
If the Bears have the number 1 pick, which right now they currently do, right, with Carolina.
Yep.
Do you take him? You don't take Caleb Williams. You stick with Fields.
I don't know. I think you wait and see what value you can get with the number 1 pick if you trade back, and if it's not enough, you don't get a player like you did in DJ Moore last year.
Yep.
Maybe you take Caleb Williams because the media has made him look so special for this entire year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Picking the last time we picked a wide receiver that high in the first round was Kevin White.
Who?
Yeah.
Did he ever even play? Didn't he? Isn't this the guy who barely even played?
Barely. Yeah.
Where was he from?
I want to say.
By the way, that's not a wide receiver name. That's not a good wide receiver name. Kevin White. Yeah, he wasn't very good. Who else is 51? Mia Hamm, the lovely Mia Hamm, who I met in person once. Shaquille O'Neal.
Kevin White,
Shaq,
West Virginia.
Chipper Jones. Now, hopefully we can get Chipper on the show. If Nagel comes back out during spring training like we're hoping for, he's friends with Chipper. We'll try to get Chipper on. That would be cool to have our second Hall of Famer.
Chipper and I have the same birthday.
You do?
Yep, April 24th.
There you go. Yeah, Chipper Jones, just in the Hall of Fame a couple years ago. Jaromir Jagr, Mr. Vegas. He loves Vegas. A lot of players come here for like a week or two in the summer. And who was it? Who was the player? I think Josh Yohe was telling us. Yep. Someone said, "Oh, Jagr, you here for like a week?" He goes, "I'm here all summer." He just stays in Vegas, likes to gamble. And the lovely Lisa Leslie. This is 25 years ago. I interviewed Lisa Leslie in the locker room of a game. And we had set up the interview where she was sitting in a chair and I was going to be standing. And then right before we did the interview, she stood up. I was like, oh, damn. So here's me interviewing Lisa Leslie. So great game tonight. And then just holding the mic like this to the point where my arm was getting tired. She's so much taller than me. But very lovely woman, Hall of Fame basketball player. Who else is up there? Who else do you have?
Dilip Singh Rana, the great Kali from WWE or WWF.
Oh, a wrestler. Okay, yeah. I didn't know who that was.
Yep. And then Aurelia Dobre. She was a world champion gymnast in the 70s, 80s.
Wow, okay.
From Romania.
I was going to say, she wasn't on the U.S. team. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. We have our first female gymnast mentioned on the show. Or no, we mentioned Mary Lou Retton once, actually, I think. Yeah. All right. But anyway, those are good. And then there you go. We saw the jersey. Oh, let's go to the jerseys, right? Jersey 51. It's show 51 here on Punchlines. 51. Let's see the jerseys. Who do we got? Butkus, Randy Johnson. Oh, God. Ichiro. That's right. Trevor Hoffman, who is Rivera passed him in all-time saves. That's right. Mariano Rivera passed. Hoffman was always the most dominant guy. Sam Mills.
Such a high leg
Sam
kick
Mills.
from Hoffman, too.
I love Sam Mills. He was a linebacker, undersized guy for the Panthers, and I think the Saints, too. He was awesome. Brian Campbell. Who's Brian Campbell? That's a hockey when you snuck in on me.
Yep. Cup champion.
And then, of course, I mean, who could forget Boban
Marjanovic.
Yeah, that guy.
I almost put Duncan Marjanovic.
Yesterday we had David Robinson, and you had him as Duncan Robinson.
Who's also a player on the Heat.
Who?
Duncan Robinson.
Is there really a Duncan Robinson?
Yeah.
Maybe that was your confusion.
Yeah, that might have been why that looked okay to me.
Now, Randy Johnson, I saw Randy Johnson pitch a couple times, and I sat behind the plate. And I was afraid sitting behind the plate with Randy Johnson pitching. I can't imagine what it would be like to face him.
Being at the plate? Yeah.
Oh, my God. Because it's like the movie, it's like Bull Durham, like Nuke LaLoosh, when, Kevin Costner was Crash Davis, and the ball would be thrown over the head. He's like, look, I don't know where it's going. I mean, the hitters were afraid to dig in. Do we have the John Kruk video? Okay. So here's Kruk in the All-Star game facing Randy Johnson. I remember watching this game live. It was hysterical. He didn't want to be there. So look, that first pitch. Now, if Randy Johnson did that on purpose, so the crowd's laughing. I forget what city it's in. Looking at that stadium, that looks like it might be Texas. So Kruk takes his helmet off. Look at that. That's 101 miles an hour.
This ball obviously just getting away from him, but watch the reaction.
I think Randy Johnson did it on purpose and was trying to hit his bat or something.
At Oriole Park.
Oh, it's Oriole Park. Thank you. Very good. Yeah, the lighting's right. So what does Kruk do? The next pitch. Yeah, he just looks at strike two. And I think he took it. Doesn't he take his helmet off and put it on back? Look at they're laughing. Right. And then he just. Yeah, so that's strike two. Everyone's laughing. Is that Frank Thomas, I think? And then, yeah, I'm just going to go sit down now. Thank you. I made the All-Star team. He's laughing. God, Kruk was so good. He used to be so good on ESPN. I don't know what he's doing now. Maybe he does color for some team. But anyway, John Kruk, that was great. So happy birthday to Randy Johnson, who is now a photographer. Right? He just does photographs.
He along with Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, and Ken Griffey Jr. That's right. We were talking about that. Ken Griffey was trying to shake the hand of Floyd Mayweather at a game because he had like the press vest, and Mayweather's like, I don't want to meet some photographer. And it's like, no, that's one of the best baseball players of all time there.
Yeah.
Mayweather is a jerk.
The kid.
He's from here. He could find me. I'm in Area 51, Floyd. Yeah, anyway, great stuff there. All right, let's go to Frank's Fast Takes. Are we going to open it up? Are we opening it up? Frank's Fast Takes. Here it comes.
Begin.
All right, so we got the cue from Billy Gardell. Want to talk about on this day in sports history, we'll do this one. Kobe Bryant, December 20th, 2005. So this is 18 years ago. Kobe Bryant scores 62 points in 3 quarters. Here are some of the highlights. What makes this game special to me is I was at that game. Now, this was one of the best perks of all time, Ryan. By the way, they played much faster back there, back in 2005.
No, I had to speed this up because it was a 10-minute clip.
Because it's cool. I love it. So anyway, when I was hosting Street Smarts, it was a show done by Warner Brothers. So they had a box at center court at Staples Center, which is now Crypto Arena. So there was this guy who was in charge of all the tickets to concerts and games. And I would email him all the time. I'm like, hey, does anybody want to, hey, what's going on with tickets? He goes, look, I got tickets to a Laker game. So I got the box. Me and some buddies went, sat center court, and watched Kobe Bryant score 62 points in 3 quarters. Now, the team he was playing was the Mavericks.
Yep.
After 3 quarters, it was Kobe Bryant 62, Mavericks 61. He outscored the team in 3 quarters. So now, I mean, you want to talk about an electric atmosphere. The place is going nuts when every time he's scoring, because we're like, oh my God, could we see him score 100 points? Will Chamberlain, right? No footage of Will Chamberlain scoring 100. Am I going to witness history? Pulled him after the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
In a 1-point game.
Between Kobe and the Mavericks.
Well, yeah, I mean.
They were up 34 at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Well, exactly. But anyway, so, but yeah, they sat Kobe, so he didn't score another point. The crowd kind of was booing Phil Jackson, but it would have been nice. So that was the career high for him at the time, I think, because he then later got 81 points, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I was at that game, and, when I got to see greatness. That was probably the best NBA game That's the most memorable one I've ever been to. I've been to, not a ton. I'd say like a dozen Laker games. I've never seen a game in any other city. But for that to be one of the games, that was incredible. And I'm a big Laker fan, so that was really cool to see a piece of history.
Ooh.
And the Lakers are playing tonight. Lakers are playing the Chicago Bulls tonight. Lakers are -4.5 against the Bulls. And the Lakers are struggling. They are struggling since they won that in-season tournament trophy. I think they're 1-3. And they hoisted the banner up the other night. Did you see that?
I do not understand that whatsoever.
A banner for
an in-season tournament.
In-season tournament. And you're hoisting it in December.
My theory is that the league wanted the Lakers to win.
Probably.
They wanted them to put this banner up.
Yes.
So that way, every other time they do this in-season tournament and it's a different team, that team gets to put a banner up.
Yeah, I guess so.
What are you putting up an in-season tournament banner for?
And by the way, the size of it was also comical. Like it was smaller than all the championship banners, which, by the way, it should be. But yeah, the Lakers, and then they lost to the Knicks at home, and we had that dog that was on the show that was everywhere. But yeah, Lakers tonight. I don't know. Can they get out of that funk?
Well,
as predicted by Reno Paul, that after the Lakers went 7-0 and won that cup or trophy, whatever you want to call it, he said they will struggle because it took a lot out of them, and it did.
The Bulls been playing well without Zach LaVine. So if Zach LaVine's the main ball handler tonight, I would probably.
Is he playing tonight?
I
don't know.
He hasn't played in a while.
Well, there's the line. Yeah, it's down to 4. So Lakers 4 points, 224.5. See, now on a game like that, I'm tempted to take the over because, well, I'm Frankie Overs. We haven't talked to Sean today if he has any NBA picks, but he's been on fire. Matt Everett, by the way, gave a couple picks yesterday, and he did all right. But he had Butler -10.5. Butler won by
LaVine's
10.
not playing.
And then he had Citadel versus Notre Dame under, which did hit. Correct, Ryan?
The Citadel game?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Citadel won the game outright.
Yeah, it flew under. The total was 110 or the
130.
Yeah, that's what the line was 130 and ended 110.
110, yeah. So Matt was all he talked about pace of play.
Yep.
Right. So Matt and Everett, he gave that winner, and then boy, the Butler game, man. I don't know if you got it, if you bet it, if you got it at 10 or 10.5, but they won by 10, so a half point. And then the Texas San Antonio game, their starting quarterback, he had that pick, but the starting quarterback didn't play. I don't even remember. We were watching the game at the party.
I think it ended 34-17 UTSA.
So they did cover.
They did cover. My
so he
my
went
grandpa
2-1,
texted me this morning.
and that
he
one
followed
loss,
that.
my God, was by a half point. All right, so we got some live comments. I've not, okay, there's live. Paul's got, in the live comments, he's got one of his, let's see. We need an Alex and Jacqueline Pick'em segment. I would be all for that. We had Jacqueline Marfuji Caprio here. She's the female MC for the Magic Mike show at the Sahara, not the Sahara. Her and Alex doing a pair. Hey, look, I would love to have her back if she wants to. Joey B, you're right. Lakers will win tonight, Paul says. And John Marshall, in-season tournament, old men, what's it say? Old men what?
Old men can't finish a regular season.
Can't finish a regular season.
Talking about
Lakers
LeBron.
are Mindar. His best movie was Hamburg. Wait, how was the open bar last night, Frank? Joey B, it was very good.
Yeah, to say the
What
least.
did that cough mean? All right, I decided to have a few shots. That's all I'm saying. Did a little Jameson, played a little blackjack. All right, we're good to go? All right, let's bring in our guest, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is like his 5th appearance, I think, maybe 6th. He might be leading the league now.
Well, his 4th was in studio, right?
Yeah, he was here. Yeah.
So yeah, this is
I think
5?
it's his 5th. All right, from the Rampart Sportsbook, it's our friend Duane Colucci. There he is. What's happening, Duane? What's up today? How you feeling today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon?
Feeling good, Frank. Definitely it's the holiday season, so plenty of bowl games, plenty of NFL. So we're feeling good, and a lot of shopping, running around today. Getting last minute stuff done. And
so you're a last minute guy.
Yeah. Some things last minute, some things I, prepare for, and definitely, the food I like to shop as fresh as possible. So I'm getting the food late. That's the last minute stuff. Is just rounding up all the meats and everything to have a nice feast on the eve and Christmas Day.
Now on Christmas Eve, I know it's a big Italian thing. My family didn't do this, but there's the Feast of the Seven Fishes is a big Italian thing. Do you do that?
No, Frank,
I know.
no. It's too hard. It's so hard to do it. Even though I'm full-blooded Italian,
Right.
It's definitely difficult, and especially here in Las Vegas. I like to have fish, of some sort. I like to have lobster, shrimp, stuff like that. I'm going to go crazy, looking for all the galamata and the scungili and all that. That's crazy. And it takes a lot to prepare too. And my mom doesn't have much help anymore other than myself and my dad. And they're getting older, so it's definitely more difficult to do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And we like to get steaks then on Christmas Day. And all
There
that
you
stuff.
go.
Yeah, you know how it is. You got to have your meat and your proteins, without a doubt.
Now there's what was that in?
The meat and the protein.
The meat and the proteins. Yeah. That's Italians, By the way, what kind of pasta are you having? Just doing spaghetti, or what do you do?
Yeah, probably going to keep it simple.
Yeah.
A little spaghetti with pomodoro, fresh tomato sauce, and definitely going to have a nice steak. I ordered a nice piece of meat from Pat LaFrida's, and that was delivered today, so that's just fabulous. They send it in 2 days. They don't freeze it. It's totally fresh. Probably the best meat purveyor on the East Coast, and I have it shipped out here to Vegas in 2 days, and they never fail.
Wow. What's the name of it again?
Pat LaFrida.
Okay.
And they have a stand actually at Citi Field.
Okay.
Where they serve, I guess, burgers and stuff like that.
Wow.
I haven't been to Citi Field yet, but yeah, definitely East Coast famous and definitely the best, cuts of meat you could get. Because I've had difficulty getting real good meat and steaks out here in Las Vegas. Whole Foods, I used to, go to a lot, but I've gone less frequent now, and it's hard to get a butcher. It isn't like back home in Pittsburgh or New York where you have your local butcher.
Right, exactly.
Manhattan just has fabulous meats and selection. So
nice.
It's a lot different here in Vegas.
All right, so there are a lot of sports. Now, when I was a kid, I remember on Christmas Day, the only thing on Christmas was it was like the blue-gray game or something. There was like a college all-star game, and it was just boring. It was like, we need sports on Christmas. So the NFL has come to the rescue, of course, and so has the NBA. The NBA is doing, what is it, like 5 or 6 games in a row, with the last game starting at like 10:30 back east. It'll be crazy. But what's the action like on these Christmas weekend games and stuff? You got stuff going on yet?
Well, we got some great handle always on the Christmas Day action.
Yeah.
And you do have. It seems like football is every day of the week now.
I know.
So you start right off with this Ram New Orleans game, and that's a fabulous game without a doubt. And then you got the big 3 games where, we're definitely seeing a little Kansas City action here at the Rampart and South Point. Frank, you know how it is against the Raiders. They just own this team, and definitely Mahomes showed that they could cover last week. So, Kansas City is definitely going to be a focal point. Also, you got the big Philly Giant matchup with Tommy Cutlets. He came back down to earth this week, though. You saw how a good defense could definitely provoke a weak Giant offense. So now you're going to see a lot of Philadelphia backers, I feel, because Philly has been playing terrible, and this is a nice chance to right the ship. And I think that a lot of the public are going to be teasing them down, as well as these money line parlays that have been very, a big attraction this year, Frank, where teams are just not even laying the points, but adding teams on, and the favorites have been covering. So we've been getting shellacked, and the big matchup is the late game, 5.5 San Francisco at the Rampart and South Point. What a fabulous matchup. Lamar Jackson played great. Jacksonville, and San Francisco is the juggernaut right now. Definitely the favorite to win the Super Bowl and run the table. They look fabulous. So many offensive weapons, Frank. When you look at Debo, McCaffrey, it's like a fist fight of who's going to win the MVP on that team, let alone the NFL. And you saw Dallas got exposed, Frank. I was so disappointed in my Cowboys. To play so heartless in Buffalo, and now you have the back-to-back playing these AFC East teams against Miami. This is going to be a difficult spot, but a great handle game, I'm telling you now. And the public is betting my Cowboys. I mean, I'm looking at the market, and 1.5 now from the opener, actually, of I believe Chris opened it at 2. So we're seeing good 2-way action, and I think a lot of Miami money will come in late, just because they people like to pound it on when the Cowboys look a little weak. And I think Dallas could bounce back, but they have to play with way more heart, Frank.
Yeah. Did you
Duane, you mentioned that Monday night game, the Ravens-Niners. Do you think that that game has any telltale of the MVP race between Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson?
Let me tell you, Lamar's been playing fabulous. So, yeah, definitely. Lamar has stepped it up to another level. And it's just great to see this kid playing in week 15, 16, 17, and 18. Last few seasons, his MO was, I get injured right before it comes playoff time. And the Ravens started to lose games naturally without their team leader. And there was that contract squabble. So now he's at the top of his game. Brock Purdy has played very well, though. San Francisco, they look nearly unbeatable. Ravens played a fabulous game against Jacksonville, dominated that team. It's going to be definitely, a tight MVP race. And, you still have Prescott involved in there. And if he could blow out Miami, possibly, he could be in that race. But I don't think that'll happen.
I think for sure. We were talking about this, the MVPs. I don't know right now if I had a vote, which I don't. I have to go Brock Purdy. He's first in every quarterback category. It's a quarterback league. McCaffrey was a future I looked at a couple months ago. I'm like, I honestly think it's going to come down to these last three games, right? I mean, it's really the closest MVP race we've seen in a long time. I still think if the Niners win out, one of the Niners has to win, right? If McCaffrey scores like 6 touchdowns in the next 3 games, I might switch my vote. But right now, Purdy, yes, the system is great. He's still throwing the ball. He's still making the decisions, which people forget. And no one saw coming from this guy who's Mr. Irrelevant, drafted in the 7th round. Right now, I'd vote Brock Purdy, but I don't know. It could change. I mean,
well, their ending schedule is at home against the Ravens,
right,
in Washington against the Commanders, and then at home against the Rams.
Right.
So, other than Monday night, should be a bit of a cakewalk.
Yeah, although the Rams play them tough, right? That's a division game. I mean, the Rams aren't a bad team.
Yeah, Rams play them tough, except SoFi is Levi's South.
That's true. Oh my God, do you remember that? That's right. And they're trying to not. Yeah, There is it. You're saying the last game's in
last
LA?
game is in San Francisco.
Oh, it's in San Francisco.
Yes.
That's right, because they already had most of the stadium. Boy, that really pissed off all the Ram fans. But you talked about the Dolphins. I have a futures bet on the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Oh, there's the schedule right there. Sorry. Yeah, that's the NFC West look ahead. I'm glad we have the Cardinals up there too.
It's the division.
I know. I understand. So they're minus 120 to win the division.
To win the conference.
I was going to say, holy shit! Holy crap! I'm going to run to the sports book. I just saw Jerry. It
got
wasn't
a finger
the F word.
immediately.
And when Jerry pointed at me right away. Jerry swore on the show, Duane, last week. So there's
you swore when I was there.
He swears all day. He's like a truck driver back here. Got to get a bar of soap for this kid. No, he's the best.
We're going to get FCC fines.
I don't know.
Right?
But here's the thing on the Dolphins, though, I want to say, because I do have a futures bet on the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl. But this is a question for you as the sportsbook, running the sportsbook over there. Do people bet more on the Dolphins now because they're on Hard Knocks? Because everyone's talking about Hard Knocks, the HBO show in season. They follow the Dolphins. Every time I watch this, or I hear Mike McDaniels talk, or I hear him break down the feud, I'm like, yes, the Dolphins will win. They will cover. I'm just wondering, do people bet Miami more now because they're on TV every Tuesday night on HBO? Or is that just a stupid thing?
No.
Okay.
I think the effect is a curve here, Frank.
Okay.
The Jets, it really came into play early in the season because you're seeing Aaron Rodgers. They were the team on Hard Knocks, and it starts so many people are waiting for the NFL. So I think they wait, and wait, and then they get hungry. And prior to the season starting, that's a very popular show. I don't think as many people view on the mid-season one, but definitely Miami just because of the flashiness with Tyreek Hill, with Waddle, with Mostert. They have that, fabulous offense, left-handed quarterback that could really drill the ball down the field. Miami is a very appealing team, and we do have an increased handle on this team naturally because they're so flashy, and they are very competitive in the AFC East, like we said, with Buffalo, somewhat coming down to earth, playing a little better now, naturally. But, that was hard not to. They had to improve on that team. So I think that Miami is definitely one of the top teams in the AFC. Lamar Jackson, he has his fans, and he's under the microscope as well as Mahomes each and every week. But now Miami is starting to creep into the picture. And, as long as they win and dominate, they're going to be very difficult to stop. I mean, that was a very nice win against the Jets. People are calling for Robert Saleh's job now on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, when you start to affect other teams in that way, Frank, and you're dominating, you definitely have a chance to cash that ticket.
Cameron Wolf, a reporter for the Dolphins, said today, about an hour ago, that none of the Dolphins starting O-line practiced today. Tyreek Hill didn't practice today. Raheem Mostert didn't practice today. Devon Achane didn't practice today, and neither did Xavier Howard. So going against that Cowboys defense, how can you not get those guys reps?
Yeah.
Going against that defense.
Is there? They all have COVID or something? What's going on there?
Well, I mean, they're all kind of banged up.
Okay.
So maybe just giving them a little bit of extra rest. But
wow.
Cowboy defense looked terrible last week. I'm very critical of my Cowboys. They looked horrible. It looked like you just put the ball in the running back's hands and you're going to shred. And then Allen, who's mobile, was definitely killing them, and the wide receivers as well, and the referees. So, it's a whole combination.
The
I
Bills
think it's
look revamped
mental.
with Joe Brady taking over the offense.
Yeah. And since the controversy with McDermott, the Bills,
It's still Josh Allen.
It's still Josh Allen.
It's still Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not buying into that yet. A couple of flashy wins. They look great dominating Dallas. Miami has just as an effective offense. The microscope is Tyreek Hill. Yeah. As long as he plays, they are so much of a better team. If he sits out, then yeah, definitely the Cowboys have a massive chance. And I think the other guys are just resting due to these banged up little dink injuries because you don't want to get exposed down the stretch.
Right.
You want to save it. This is a playoff team. So yes, great points. And definitely Dallas got dinged up against Buffalo. You saw them get manhandled. There were times where Parson was limping off. Definitely CD got crushed towards the end of the game. Yeah. Have to keep your eye on. Definitely, the injuries are definitely relevant.
Your Cowboys are two different teams at home and on the road. I mean, it's like it literally looks like two different teams. At home, they haven't lost in like 2 years or whatever. I mean, they haven't lost at all. And then they go on the road. And that Buffalo game, I had Dallas teased down. I'm like, these points with Dallas, come on, that's a lock. And then it was over quick.
Yeah, very quick.
They're 3-4 on the road this year and 7-0 at home.
That is not good. No. I want to talk about the Bills. Going back to the Bills, -14 or what is it? -12. Right, a couple weeks ago we wouldn't have thought, but now no Justin Herbert.
It's 11 against the Chargers in LA.
It's 11. Okay, it's in LA. Buffalo coming across the country, but there will be so many Buffalo fans at that game. I mean, any Charger fans that were left are gone now that Herbert's gone, right? And is Easton Stick getting the start again? Yeah. So, I mean, any Charger fans that were left, and it's the Christmas weekend, so everyone's bailing out of Los Angeles, that will be a Buffalo Bills home game. Because, some people probably planned this trip months ago to go to L.A., sunny L.A., to get out of Buffalo. That will be a Bills home game. I don't know if that factors into the line, but you're telling me it's 11 right now. But like 2 weeks ago, that line would have been closer. But now
44.
Yeah, and the over is what, 44?
Yeah.
Well, Buffalo could put that up on their own. I don't know, because the Chargers look like they just get, but they do now have the interim coach, right? So teams always rally around an interim coach. So I don't know. Who do you like in that game? The money line's -750. And who do you like in that game? And will people be betting that money line in parlays?
Well, it's a significant move. Look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. 14. We had the opener, and now it's down to 11. So people are definitely looking at the underdog at home here.
Jeez.
But it's so hard to back these charges. They
I know.
look so terrible. And I know they wanted, the head coach out, and what better way just to leave, hang out in Vegas, enjoy your holiday, get home safe. For the Raiders to go from 0 to 63 was just incredible in itself. And that definitely is, it shows you how bad that the LA Chargers are. And definitely you're going to have a big Buffalo crowd there. It's going to be scary. I'll tell you the truth. I like Buffalo unless I see injuries and guys sitting and resting, you definitely, if they build a big lead, they're going to put in second string guys because it is possible that they could be leading by 20 plus points at halftime. Anything is possible with these Chargers, and especially without Herbert. That's the key. Yeah. Missing major weapons, and when these guys get banged up and hurt, it just makes it even more difficult, and they don't really have their heart in the game coming off the, that vicious beating. So yeah, I definitely like Buffalo at this spot. I'm not going to doubt Buffalo, but they do have a tendency to play to the level of their competition. Let's keep this in mind, guys. This is why they blew a lot of games they should have won early in the season, and there were a few miraculous wins early in the season. So that's the only reason. I still have questions about the coaching staff. Yeah, now they're rallying around the head coach, but how long does that last? I mean, you have to play multiple weeks and possibly on the road in the playoffs, Frank. So it's going to be interesting to see Buffalo, but they're a strong team right now.
Yeah, and coming off that big win against Dallas, you just hope that they're not believing their own press right now and come out and lay an egg. I don't know. Who do you like in that game, Ryan? Who, if you had to bet?
Which game?
The Buffalo game.
Probably the Bills.
The Bills. And so you're telling me that opened at 14 and came down, so people are betting the Chargers, which is a shock to me.
Yeah.
I would have thought it went the other way. All right.
Opening line at the
So, sorry. So, Duane, if you were the commissioner of the NFL, is there one rule if you were commissioner for a day, what would you change about the NFL? Anything?
I think there has to be somebody who could, who's doing the reviews of these plays that could see a little better. I mean, the game was literally over. So, I mean, even though they called it interception on that last play, the Eagle game I'm referring.
Yes.
I mean, what are these guys seeing that we don't see? I mean, it's plain as day. His toe did not touch the turf. So now you have, referees interpreting, oh, yeah, he did. He had possession, all this. It's just there has to be maybe a video review conference center that's, away from the game where they're telling the referee, no, look, you're wrong. This is what happened. He did not touch the turf. They have the greatest technology in the world. So I think the referees have to be a little more under the microscope because they have made so many bad calls this year, guys.
Yeah.
I just don't have faith in them anymore. And it takes away from the integrity of the game. It's one thing a coach, McCarthy, not challenging the Diggs fumble, but how are these refs and how are the replays missing all of this? Why is it not called properly on the field? Why does a referee, have to come into play in the final outcome? And why does a head coach have to be that sharp to where, you're under a knife 30 seconds, running a hurry-up offense? How do you make this call? So I definitely think it's got to be revamped, guys.
And
they have to look at the referees.
Right. And the way this season has gone with a lot of really bad calls, my fear is there's going to be a huge play in a playoff game, a conference championship, the Super Bowl, that's going to come down and it's going to be blown. So again, people say this, I'm not the only one. It's $1 billion sports league with part-time employees, right? They need like a full-time program for these guys. And I just, I love replay. I think I grew up without replay and it was frustrating, right? You'd say how did they blow that call? So I love replay, but there's got to be a better way. I mean,
Well, they're losing the good referees to be broadcasters, to be on the broadcast teams.
Oh, that's interesting.
So Gene Steratore is getting more money from CBS than he would being a referee.
That's interesting. Where's Gene Steratore from, Jerry? Do we know? I think he's from Pittsburgh. I'm allowed to mention Pittsburgh once. All right. Last thing with you, Duane, I want to talk about our boy Tommy DeVito, who we love. We love everything he's done for the Italians. We love this. We love all this. So we reported this story yesterday. He was going to be paid $10,000 to show up to this pizza place, sign some autographs for an hour. Well, his agent, Steve Stiletto, Sean Stiletto. It's tomato. Anyway, he says, the story is that the owner of the place says, well, the agent said, well, his rate isn't $10,000 now. It's been doubled to $20,000. So this guy goes on social media and says, look, I apologize to all the fans who wanted to come see Tommy DeVito, come to the pizza place. Hey, they're trying to double the rate on me. I can't do it, right? We're a small family-owned place. Then the agent said, no, it was never official. Then the guy posts screen grabs showing it was agreed at $10,000. So what a genius thing Tommy DeVito did, a PR move. He showed up to the pizza place for free. And look at this. There he is yesterday. And what's he doing there, Ryan?
Making soda the old-fashioned way.
He's making sodas the old-fashioned way. So, I mean, again, this is what agents are for. They can play the bad guy. They have to fall on the sword there. So Tommy just looks like a good guy. He shows up for free, and everyone loses their mind. So that's all PR right there, right? But you got to love this kid, right, Duane?
Yeah, let me tell you, he did the right thing, which is, he shows that he has some class and definitely, overrode his manager basically and said, I'm not going to, go out looking like a gavone. Yeah, I'm going to definitely show up. I'm going to make a few nice sodas. Those sodas, let me tell you too, those sodas are unbelievable. If you use that Coke old school syrup, definitely, similar to making an egg cream back home.
Right.
He did the right thing and he showed up to the pizzeria. It was a great PR move. The kid, he knows how the NFL works and what social media and other media outlets to do to you. So he's very perceptive to that. Maybe his agent wasn't, but, he's definitely riding high right now despite the loss. And he's coming out looking good, definitely, with that move. It was the right.
And the Giants and Eagles were playing on Christmas Day. I mean, come on.
Right.
That's just, and that game's in Philly, right? Or is it, okay, it's in Philly. It's going to be a ton of New York fans. They're going to, what's the over-under at the Rampart on how many times they'll cut to his family in the stands? Do you have an over-under on the DeVito family
Oh,
appearances?
that's the best. Let me tell you, and you go into the pregame, like when they tailgated, that was incredible bread they had last week.
Yeah.
They had chicken cutlets, they had roasted peppers, they had mozzarella. I mean, the family definitely does it right, and they're riding high. I tell you, I notice also that now he's advertising his dad, his plumbing service, I think it is. I was hearing on 1010 Wins. That's a big story in New York that now he's advertising on major media outlets. And, the whole family is embracing it. And it's the right thing to do. It's similar to Linsanity a few years ago. Remember that?
Jeremy Lin, buddy.
Jeremy Lin.
Linsanity.
Face of the City. Right,
Wow.
exactly, Frank. So
Hey.
definitely, he's doing the right thing and he's properly motivated.
It's these 15 minutes of fame. I hope it lasts. I don't know if Daniel Jones can ever quarterback the Giants again. Right now, that spreads at 5. All right, that's 5 points. That's
No, I think it's I think the graphic is a little screwed up. I think
okay.
It's 11 and a half.
It's 11 and a
Yeah,
half.
the
All
font
right.
got messed up.
Oh, the font got messed up.
Yeah, it's
that's
Philly by
okay.
11 and a half. The
you know.
total is 42 and a half.
Okay, 11 and a half. I was going to say that my reaction was going to be, well, that seems low. Someone take over the show. I'm going to run to the window right now and place a bet on the Eagles. But I hope Tommy plays well. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas. We always love having you on the show. Any final thoughts for our viewers that love having you on the show, by the way?
Yeah, definitely come out to the Rampart. I'll be there on Christmas Day for that plethora of NBA and NFL action. So definitely come out and say hi. And it's a great time of the season. Merry Christmas to you guys. Thank you for having me on Punchlines.
You're the
I
best.
really enjoy it. I love joining you guys. It's such a pleasure, and definitely have a great new year as well, because we're going to pick some winners. We have the jackpot card at the Rampart in South Point. Don't forget about that. Get those in, guys. $5.
$5.
$25,000, and it's going to exceed that because it always does. Chris does a fabulous job with that. And we're going to have a nice spread on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
I love it.
Bon Natal. Definitely to everybody out there, my friends and family, Merry Christmas.
Right, don't be a gavone. What was that? That was the best. And lastly, how are you doing in the bookie contest?
Still in front by 6 games, guys. I extended the lead by 2 more. We're trying. We led every week, 15 straight weeks. Going into this week, tough Thursday night game, tough Christmas games. I got to rein it in. I had a big week this week because the consensus it was horrible. I think it was like 4-10, and I was able to go about 9-5. So definitely, it was a good week. Yeah, definitely. And we're going to keep it rolling, guys. We're going to try and win this game.
All right, we'll see you soon, Duane. We love having you on the program. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Duane Colucci, everybody. Colucci. We'll be back in 2 minutes. I love him.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grandview Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grandview Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Welcome back to Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero. That's Ryan McCormick, and we got Jerry, Ann, and Sean. They have their own camera now, ladies and gentlemen. First day with the camera, we can see the behind-the-scenes magic here at Punchlines when we want to. There it is. There they are. Hard-working crew. We had a good time last night at the Christmas party, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
And Ryan, so we played games, and the girls from the sport, it was the whole sports book. We had the Punchlines crew was there, and the Sports by the Book crew, Jeff Parles, who are off today.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But we had to be here today bright and early at noon. Well, you guys were here really early, weren't you?
Yeah, race day was this morning.
Oh, race day with Ralph Sirocco. Yeah, that's right. I got to sleep in a little bit. But anyway, Christmas party was great. We played a bunch of games. And Ryan, you won yourself a prize last night, didn't you?
I won the first game. I won a...
Let's see it. Let's see what he won, ladies and gentlemen.
Won a karaoke mic.
Now, how does that work? How does that function?
So it's Bluetooth.
Are there songs in the mic or no?
No, it's Bluetooth. So like you pair your phone to it, and then you play a song from your phone.
Okay.
And then you basically sing into it, but it plays the music at the same time. So you're basically just singing over the song.
Oh, okay. But you could pull up a karaoke version of a song, right?
Yeah, if you wanted.
It's a pretty cool. And then the speaker is right on the side of the microphone there.
Yeah, I think it's like right in the.
Would someone like to?
thing.
Would we like to hear Ryan sing a song for us? Anybody?
Oh man, what?
Is it not working?
I didn't prepare this. What song am I supposed to sing?
Go.
Ryan,
go. What am I supposed to sing?
I don't
Just
know.
any song?
Sing a Christmas carol. Do the barking dogs, jingle bells. And I won a blanket later on in the evening for playing some game. It was basically like a categories thing.
Yeah.
And the letter we had, I mean, it's fitting that I won. The letter was F. And
Surprised Jerry didn't win. Yeah.
Watch Jerry and the letter F. We know. Got to be careful. Tomorrow on this program, live in the studio, we will have comedian Butch Bradley. Butch is an old friend of mine from the Laugh Factory out in L.A. He does a residency at the L.A. Comedy Club, which is located in the Strat here in Vegas, Thursday through Sunday. I think I'm going to go and check out the club and do a set tomorrow at the Strat. And so Butch will be here on Thursday. So we have a comedian here tomorrow, and then Jeff Parles tomorrow, right, on Thursdays? So Jeff and Butch. All right, so we had some Frank's Fast Takes. The reason we didn't close Frank's Fast Takes, Bob Del Pizzo, if you're watching, because we didn't finish. We want to talk about fantasy football. You're a fantasy football player, right? Now, I know you had that opening week was like the George Kittle's 3 times. You had like every receiver scored like
Kittle,
3
Jamar
touchdowns.
Chase,
Kittle's, DJ Moore.
Yeah.
All right, how is your fantasy team doing?
Well, 2 leagues, I didn't make the playoffs.
Uh-oh.
One of the leagues I did make the playoffs. I had Tyreek Hill and Chris Olave, and they were both ruled out last week, and they were my 2 best receivers. So didn't win that matchup. And then the final league I'm in, I had the bye week in the first week of the playoffs. So we'll see how we finish in that
good for
one.
you. All right, the reason we talk about fantasy football is we're going to go ahead and talk about a gentleman by the name of Jerome Harrison. And you're probably saying, who the hell is Jerome Harrison? Well, on this day in 2009, Jerome Harrison had one of the best rushing performances in NFL history. 34 carries, 286 yards, and a 41-34 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Joshua Cribbs, who was the best kick returner, used to torture the Steelers and all of the NFL, had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. This was a wild game, and I watched this game. Do you want to know why I watched this game? Oh, speaking of fantasy football, I was in the championship game or in the semifinals. Semifinals or championship game. This might have been the championship. Jerome Harrison hadn't played all year. I think he had like 50 yards rushing for the entire season. The guy I'm playing picks him up on Sunday morning.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Ryan. Starts Jerome Harrison. So 28 plus 8. He had about 46, 50 points, and I lost, which was so unfair. And that's also...
that's brutal.
It was brutal. And I had Steve Smith from the Carolina Panthers was my star receiver. I'm watching that game in a sports bar, I think, and I don't even remember where I was. Steve Smith gets kicked out of the game in the first half. So Steve Smith gets kicked out, and then over on this TV is I'm like, the guy I'm playing is Jerome Harrison. I've never even heard of Jerome Harrison. It's the 3rd most yards ever rushed in football history, only behind Adrian Peterson has the record, I think, for rushing yards in a game. And then Jamal Lewis, the Ravens, they were the top 3. This guy, third most yards in football history. When I was a kid, it was Walter Payton had the single game record for the longest time until it was broken. So anyway, this no-name Jerome. So then after this great game, he signs a contract, 1 year, $2 million, becomes the starting running back in 2010. He doesn't even finish the season. He's hurt. Jerome Harrison. So on this day in sports history, you crushed my best chance at ever winning. I've never won a fantasy title.
You've never won a fantasy
I never
title.
won,
How long
and
have
that's
you been
why I
playing fantasy
retired.
football?
I retired from fantasy football. I only like to just bet on games now because it was just so heartbreaking. Plus, I would draft way too many Steelers and not enough Ravens, Browns, or Bengals, and that's why I lost. But that was my best shot, and Jerome Harrison ruined it on this day in 2009. So, college, it was National Signing Day. We have the TV on right now. They're talking about who had the best recruiting class. It's the same schools every year. Georgia,
Bama,
Texas,
Oregon,
Bama,
Ohio
Oregon.
State. Yeah.
It's all the same. They all get the best.
Rich get richer.
What's that?
The rich get richer.
The rich get richer. It's exactly what we were saying. But now there's some high school kids. Now, I want to show you a video of this guy I saw online, high school lineman named Byron Washington. So there's Byron Washington. He would be the biggest player in the NFL today. He's 6'9", 400 pounds. Now, this was them playing their big rival, DeSoto. And look at him just manhandle these defensive linemen. Now, how is that even fair? That is not fair. I mean, look at that. The kid, 6'9", 400 pounds. He's a junior in high school, ladies and gentlemen, and he hasn't been rated. So at the end of this clip, he has a chip on his shoulder because he hasn't been rated. These recruits get 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. So since it's National Signing Day, he's only a junior, so he won't be able to sign till next year. But at the end of he's a cheat code, is what they're saying. 6'9", 400 as a junior in high school. Look at that poor number 5, that back. And he's agile, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end, see, he's like, rate me. See, he's still not rated, so that's a big thing for these high schoolers. But what were you your junior season? How tall and how much did you weigh your junior?
I was 5'9", 185.
185?
Yeah, I was a little muscle hamster.
Oh, yeah, muscle hamster.
I was a fullback and a strong safety, so.
That's right. I think in junior, my junior year, I was probably 5'2", 120. This guy is like 4 of me. Jerry, right? I still grew another, 8 inches. I'm 5'10". It's the loudest laugh of the show, ladies and gentlemen, right there. My license says 5'7". But anyway, all right. So anyway, that guy, he's going to play in the pros. He'll play on Sundays. He's 6'9", 400 pounds. But there's another guy in high school, athletes to watch. This guy plays at Long Beach Poly. His name is Nico Lamalavia. I don't know. Whatever. They call him Millionaire Nico. By the way, he likes to play football in pajamas, apparently. I don't know. He's already got...
Those pants are several $1,000 pants.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
They're some designer pants.
No way.
Yeah.
So how does a high school kid already have $1,000 pants?
Getting $400,000 just to be in high school.
Exactly. That's how. Because he plays at Long Beach Poly High School, which is outside of L.A. His nil deal, which is name and likeness, which all these college athletes are getting in every sport, but mostly football, it's worth $8 million. He's in high school. He's worth $8 million. But there's a catch. He has to stay at least 3 years at University of Tennessee. So he's committed to the Volunteers. So if he stays for 3 years, he gets $8 million. But he gets $400,000 up front. So maybe that's how he could afford the pants.
Yeah.
So in high school, how is that? He's already got $400,000
off of 7-on-7 tape.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He's got a whip. Yeah. He can throw the ball, but Tennessee's given him $400,000 already. And if he stays 3 years, $8 million. Now in football, they don't usually leave after, you got to play at least 3 years. So this kid's probably going to make $8 million, which he won't even make in the NFL unless he's a top pick, which according to this tape, he could be. But Nico Millionaire is his nickname.
Millionaire Nico.
Millionaire Nico.
Millionaire.
I mean, can you imagine in high school having $400,000?
That would be nice.
I'd get $20 on Christmas from my uncle and aunt, and I was like, I am loaded, right? I'd get to lunch, and like pudding was a dime, and cake was a quarter, and I'd sit down with all my boys. Who wants pudding? Daddy's got it. 6 puddings all around. I'd take care of my friends. Anyway, these nil deals are insane.
Yeah, no, they've almost ruined college football.
Oh, well, that's why Chip Kelly was talking about it. He's like, look, there's got to be some sort of regulation on this. They are. And the transfer portal, they can play 1 year somewhere and leave. Although Nico, I have a feeling we're going to see in Tennessee Orange for at least 3 years because you got to get that $8 million.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. I don't know. It's shocking. It's shocking. All right, we have a football game tomorrow night, which we'll talk more about. But Saints and Rams. Yep. I like the Rams in this game. I like the way the Rams are playing. They look good.
Yeah, they were up 21-7 on the Commanders going into the fourth quarter, and then they gave up some garbage time points. But
right, and the Saints are all about that defense. But Derek Carr, you never know what you're going to get with Derek Carr, do you?
Yeah, no, you can't have faith in Derek Carr, even though he's very much into faith.
Yeah, he is. So what do we got tonight on the docket? We were talking about some games. We got bowl games. Yeah, we got bowl games, ladies and gentlemen.
Tomorrow is a bowl.
Tomorrow's Thursday. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't we have bowl games tonight?
No bowl games tonight. There's 3 NHL games and then 7 NBA games.
And Sean had a pick he was thinking about. Sean, who is our NBA guy, who makes some great picks, but he liked the Clipper Maverick over, but then we found out Paul George is a game-time decision.
Yep.
And so is Kyrie Irving.
Yep. Well, Kyrie's out.
Oh, Kyrie's out.
Yeah, Kyrie's out. Paul George is the game-time decision, and so the totals kind of moved down in the last
But
hour.
the Clippers have been hot. They dropped 150 the other night on Indiana, but Indiana doesn't even. Do they try to play defense?
They don't. No,
they don't
just
even
try
try
and outshoot everybody.
Yeah, they're just like we're gonna run and gun, and then this is one of the games where they were off. But the Clippers are actually the hottest team in LA right now. The Lakers coming off that thing, the in-season trophy where they hoisted a banner. But
8 straight wins for the Clippers.
8 straight wins for the Clippers.
8 straight wins. Two straight games over 140. They had 144 against the Knicks and 151 against the
They will
Pacers.
always be the Chargers of that town. You know what I mean? They're always going to be second behind the Lakers. But that new stadium, when does that new stadium that Paul Allen's building or whatever? I think it opens in a couple years.
Is it 26 or is it after that?
Yeah, I've already seen some rough drawings and sketchings or whatever computer. By the way, he's so proud of this, Paul Allen, that he has more bathrooms than any stadium.
Next year.
What year is it?
It's supposed to open next year.
Next year, yeah. He has more restrooms than any place ever. There's charging devices for phones at every seat.
The Intuit Dome.
The Intuit Dome. That's what it's called?
That's what it's called.
Well, I think that's good because the Chargers need their own, or the Clippers need their own home, right?
Yeah, they should move out of LA.
Yeah,
honestly.
they should. Well, they were the San Diego Clippers, and a Clipper is like a ship that I think they're boats. So it never made sense that they. It's again, why do these NBA teams?
Yeah.
The Utah Jazz, change your name. It's ridiculous.
Well, we don't have much say in that. So.
All right, that's true. Well, we got 2 more shows before Christmas. I'm going to go out and look at some lights. I think I'm going to go to Enchant possibly tomorrow or Friday night. That's out at the Aviators Ballpark.
Las Vegas
where
Ballpark,
the 51s used to play, but it's now the Aviators.
Nope. No? 51s were at Cashman Field, kind of downtown, and then they built a new ballpark in 2019.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
And then we have your creep show.
Well, we're going to close with that. We're going to talk about that. Yeah. So, okay. So we talked Jacqueline Marfuji. She's Italian. Why can't I pronounce Jackie Marfuji Caprio was here. And she has a movie on Amazon, a Christmas movie called Wise Guy Christmas, which you should check out. I also have something you could check out if you'd like to watch. Did we have a clip of it?
Yeah.
There's a lot more
all right. So here's me, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Creep Show episode, the holiday special. It's about 48 minutes. If you have Apple TV, you can get it on Apple. There's me doing some acting, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep his clip in his gun, all right?
Look at me.
Ryan is
This is
sitting
me
on
being
his
drama.
ass like a pud. All right?
Dramatic.
This is all right? You really think we can fend
We
off
need that drop.
thing? And it's Satan's claws? It's gonna rip us to pieces.
We don't have a choice.
Look at the drama. Feel the anger. It's like Denzel
I don't
Washington.
want to get sliced up, all right? I'm too pretty.
I'm too pretty, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not helping the situation.
Fine. You know what? You guys go ahead and fight, all right?
That's Anna Camp
I'm
and
gonna
Adam
take off
Pally.
this
Anna
red
Camp
suit
from
and
the
pretend to be
Pitch Perfect movies. Adam Pally from Sonic the Hedgehog. Jerry's favorite thing. So anyway, if you want to see an acting tour de force, ladies and gentlemen, by Frank Nicotero. Oh yeah, Adam Pally's pretty good and Anna Camp are pretty good. The whole cast was great. But this is my cousin adapted the story, wrote and directed it, so I was in it. I did audition for it. I was put on tape, network approved. It wasn't a nepotism thing. But it's a really fun episode. It's a Christmas episode. It gets a little crazy. It's not for the kids. This isn't for the kids. If it's Creep Show, there's 4 seasons of Creep Show. This is the one episode I've done. It's the Holiday Spectacular. It's on Apple. Or if you have Shudder, which is AMC's horror thing, you can watch it for free. So if anyone watches it and doesn't have a good time watching it, I will refund $1.99 to you.
What did you turn into?
I turn into
werewolf
a
hog
wereboar.
thing? A wereboar.
A wereboar. Not a werewolf, but a wereboar. I don't want to give away too much, but it's a pig of some sort. And because my character was kind of a pig, you'll see me. I say something very crude to Anna Camp, which I had a hard time doing because she's so lovely and nice. And the Office episode where she plays Pam's, one of Pam's sisters. Yeah. So I was talking to her about that, and then I had to say this line to her, which was in bad taste. But anyway, it was in the script, so I had to do it. But it's a fun episode. It gets a little crazy that Santa and Satan are kind of connected. It's not for the family, but if you want to check that out, Creep Show Holiday Special. We shot it during COVID, and it was a lot of fun. It's actually a really, really entertaining episode. I know Bob Del Pizzo have seen it several times. It's entertaining. So you guys are all going to watch it and come back with reviews, right? Jerry's going to watch it, and I
watched it cutting it up. I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, that's right. I see. Yeah, okay, there you go. It's entertaining. Just like this show, and today's show was very entertaining. We'd like to thank everybody. Thank to Chris Andrews and the Sportsbook and everybody that put together the holiday party. We had a blast last night. We have 2 more shows before Christmas. Tomorrow, Butch Bradley will be here. Friday, working on a special guest. Hopefully he can make it too. But we really appreciate you guys watching. What are our subscribers up to? We're at
887.
887. Let's get to
next
900.
one's 888. 888.
Oh, that would be good. Tomorrow we better have 888. Okay. So anyway, thank you for all watching. Share the show. Jerry always cuts some clips together that some of the funniest moments that'll be on TikTok. We're on TikTok now. You can see the show here on YouTube Live, or you can watch it later after. We want to thank Dom's Pizza in Trafford, PA for showing the show. Steiner's right down the street. Steiner's for showing the show. And where we were last night,
Oasis.
The Oasis. What a great bar. What a great place. We were watching football. We had the holiday party. Then we went and played some blackjack. But the staff there, Mike and Anthony, were the kids that took care of us last night. They were outstanding. Make sure you go to the Oasis over on Decatur.
Decatur and Tropicana, yep.
Decatur and Tropicana. What a great place. I'm definitely going to go back. So we appreciate you guys showing the show. We appreciate you watching the show because we have fun making it. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow. Punchlines live in Nevada every show.